The increase in food prices was the highest since 1990 due to Russia's intervention in Ukraine. According to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, food became 12.6% more expensive in March. Reportedly, this was caused by a 17.1% increase in prices of grain crops and a 23.2% increase in prices of vegetable oils compared to February. Meanwhile, the UN named a more precise reason for the rise in prices. According to the UN Special Rapporteur on Extreme Poverty and Human Rights Olivier de Schutter, this real reason for rising food prices can be identified as panic associated with the crisis around Ukraine and speculation. The spokesman said that some market traders are speculating on higher prices, conscious of people's concerns about the situation in Ukraine. De Schutter suggested, calm down the market, and bringing more transparency to the data on the state of food reserves. The majority of food reserves are in the hands of private sector operators, large grain traders who do not participate in the exchange of information that governments need to calm market nervousness, the special reporter explained. UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres said rising prices for fertilizers caused by the conflict in Ukraine, as well as sanctions against Russia and Belarus, could lead to cereal shortages. He noted that billions of people around the world would be affected. Guterres added that fertilizer prices have reached record highs and have more than doubled. In addition, Thomson Peary, spokesman for the UN World Food Programme, said that the situation in Ukraine and rising food prices are increasing the risk of global hunger in the world. Peary stressed that Ukraine and Russia are responsible for 30% of global wheat exports, 20% of corn exports, and 76% of sunflower supplies. Some of the most noticeable inflation rates have been seen in the US as well. U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said that the sanctions against Russia, which Washington imposes because of the conflict in Ukraine, provoke a rise in food and fuel prices in the U.S. market. The acceleration of inflation started back in 2021 when a pent-up demand for goods and services was triggered after the easing of quarantine restrictions. The disruption followed by a slow recovery of supply chains after the global pandemic also worsened the situation. According to the FAO, the global food price index jumped from 122% in April 2021 to 158% in April 2022. The price index for meat rose from 104% to 121% during the same period, for dairy products from 119% to 147%, cereals from 126% to 169%, vegetable oils from 162% to 237%, and sugar from 100% to 121%.